All right, welcome League Zero to the losers semifinal. I think
Losers
is what
finals.
losers final is what we're officially calling this. It's a semifinal match, but it's a losers
Yeah.
bracket, so it's called
Yep.
losers final. Welcome to double elimination brackets that are confusing. We have Axolotl Syndicate and Goofy Goobers today, and it's we're going to see what happens. I think everyone kind of knows what is expected to happen, but
Yeah.
we still gotta play the game anyway.
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, Goofy Goobers want that fair chance. Axolotl, of course, being the favorites here. They took it to a map 5 against Powerhouse. Powerhouse barely pulling out the reverse sweep last week, or last weekend, even. So, rather close game that one was. Whereas Goofy Goobers last week just got their first win of the season, right? So they took out Hope's Peak, and I believe that was also a reverse sweep, if I'm not mistaken. So, rather hype and a good amount of momentum coming in for the Goobers. And speaking of momentum, while we have your ear, you'll notice underneath the caster cams, we have a little charity thing for the Women in Games International. It's a thing we're doing all throughout the playoffs, so up until the end of next Sunday when the Advanced Grand Finals go on. We do have some smaller milestones that we can hit. We have bringing back the dedicated memes and links channel in the Discord server, although technically general chat kind of fills that. But I mean, we
Yep.
can we can make a secondary. We can technically bring back the channel. It still exists, just not public. We can bring that back if we can get it up to $500 in total. If we get it to 1,000, we get to force dividing to eat spicy noodles. I think it is. I'm not sure how
Yeah.
spicy noodles can be, but we're hopefully gonna find out. Make the commissioner suffer a little bit.
I have had some
So
pretty spicy noodles. If you get like the right type of ramen, especially like the Maruchan packs, you can get some pretty spicy noodles from those. I remember
yeah.
cooking those at one point and just with a bunch of my friends around, we cooked one of the spicy ones and we opened it and our eyes watered. So
So who
you
knows?
can get some pretty spicy noodles.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want the easy way to get the donation link for that Tiltify campaign, is just going straight to charity. It's not going to any of our pockets or whatever. You can scroll down to the About section or just click exclamation point donate in the chat. And that'll send you to the Tiltify page. There are some individual rewards as well. For example, I think there's like $10 tier where you get to 1v1 a staff member of your choice in a game of their choice, and we'll all give you like a giant list. But anyways, yeah, both these teams looks like they're ready, so we don't need to stall any longer. First map's going to be Lijiang Tower. We're going to be getting into it in just a moment here. There we go. And this is going to be rather exciting because Lijiang, as always, is a really versatile map in terms of what these teams could run. Now, we do know, of course, from the entire regular season and the playoffs up until now, what these teams generally like to do. But there is going to be a little bit of flexibility that's required, right? Because the same composition that's good on Control Center, for example, with the map we're currently on, is not necessarily the best for Gardens or Night Market. So
Right.
Control Center, we're going to see a lot of Brawl, a lot of the Junkrat, Symmetra, more than likely. The support's swapping up a little bit, but they have time to get into whatever they specifically want to, right? And then coming into the other rounds, depending on what these teams like to play, what the meta is right now, it's a little bit in flux. We could see very different compositions outside of just this Brawl. So don't expect this outside of probably just Control Center here, and keep an eye on the Junkrats in particular as we get towards this first fight.
Yeah, and the important thing to remember is both teams had a reverse sweep last game, so the first two maps don't really matter. That's a joke. Anyways, getting into the fight, just kind of this high ground stairway being contested over. It looks like it's gonna be Goofy Goobers who kind of get the first little comfortable place on the
Shit,
point.
his window?
Yes, Daniel
Oh,
already has windows, so does Lupical. These Baptistes are building this window up so fast.
what's that? Phone. Oh dear. Yeah, well, she
Try
does.
to hide the tire. He just rode the wall straight right next to them.
Phone certainly likes good old fashioned Junkrat. It's
Well, look
well,
at
that's
Sparrow. Sparrow's ult
Yeah,
charge on the other side is 47%, and Phone already has used his Riptire. I mean, her Riptire, so...
yeah.
Yeah!
Sparrow is still trying to flank around as I say that, so yeah, they're gonna result in a lot less ult charge there, but potentially some kills. No, not quite as lucky. So Phone potentially gonna be laughing.
Well, Glacier's Wall is gonna be used. Oh my gosh, Phone. Glacier's Wall used well to kind of block off healing to Eevee, who will eventually go down. But now with Raja's Wall up instead, and Glacial already walking back from spawn, we're gonna get a lot more ultimates coming out here. The bomb, the window from both teams, each from both teams, and the Phone and the supports just run over everyone.
Getting a little bit of a flashback from Season 3 Intermediate, where Fawn was, of course, the MVP for that season of that division. And finally, Sparrow has his Riptire, but I mean, Fawn is basically there with her own, so...
He lapped. Oh my god.
Almost leapt, yeah, and it's going to be rather difficult to push in because both teams really only have the Shatter and the Riptire, and the Riptire is probably going to be the engagement tool. Not sure how they're going to find a way to use the Shatters here.
It's Phone Riptire. The first one got 2. Sparrow is dead to Phone's Riptire. That's a decent pick, but will still get scorched with his own. And just a bit of cleanup. Eox getting out of Mech, and Lupical and Phone are the last 2 alive. Phone will make it out alive.
Now this is going to be dangerous coming into this next fight because this is where Axolotl really shines. They're very good at playing defense, especially on control points. As long as Daniel can get a decently placed window, I'd expect this to be a bloodbath, and probably Goofy Goober is going to want to be playing a little bit passive, right? They're going to want to take a dry fight, try and drag out that window, get maybe that sim wall out of the way.
Ooh!
They could maybe win.
Phone just gets an immediate pick. That wall is out, but they can't really use it too much now as Goofy Goobers have moved on to the point. Eevee and Eoc both at about half health, so those are going to be the ones to look out for as Lupical's Ant Matrix will try to heal them up, but it can't heal through that as Toasty gets a 3k bomb and just wins the fight off of it.
Now, the one saving grace there for Goofy Goobers is they have a ton of time to work with, right? They have at least 3 more fights. And they're coming up on ultimates, as well as they forced out a decent amount from Axolotl. They forced out 3 ults that previous fight. Granted, Daniel's about to build up another Matrix. That one might not matter, but Eevee is going to have the Shatter. Phone's going to have yet another Tire. They're going to have Beat. They have the Wall from Vraja as well. So this is looking good for Goofy Goobers. They just got to play patient.
They just have a lot more resources, and this wall is going to help them get some damage in while being safe themselves. There's not really a way for Axolotl to flank around it. So it's just used to be safe, but this Amp Matrix coming up with that sound barrier. Phone's dead. Her Riptire is still somewhere, and now it is gone. Phone died twice? Anyways, throughout that fight, it's just kind of everyone focusing on one person from the side of Axolotl Syndicate, and the rest of the team just bowls over them. So they spent a bit too much resources focused on Phone.
Somewhat, I guess, characteristically, you had Sparrow trying to find a lot of value on these like really wacky flanks, right? And that's what he's known for this season. Like, he does not play with the rest of Axolotl. He's just off in Narnia doing whatever. But it really didn't find value that round, right? Where Control Center is an extremely brawly map, and they just could not find value whatsoever. The Riptires, maybe they got like a few kills here and there, but by the time they actually pushed in, Phone was destroying the front line of Axolotl because they were just winning out in the Junkrats, not necessarily 1v1, but head-to-head, I think is a better way to put it. Right? So now you have both teams. Symmetra, they're just going to be poking in, and Goofy Goobers actually went for more of like a pokey Wrecking Ball Brawl-esque comp, so they're going to play a lot more patient, wait for an opportunity to push in, wait for Axolotl to invest certain kinds of resources, like the Immortality Field, before they really want to invest.
Right, Phone actually was able to see the teleporter get spawned on the ceiling, so was able to get a lot of damage in and a lot of ult charge in just from hitting everybody, and will just cap the point in front of everyone. Well, Goofy Goobers get first percentage. I don't know if they'll keep it as Raja falls to
No.
Sparrow, but it's good to at least get some points on the board quickly. It's not a
Yeah.
bad thing.
Yeah, they're going to be stalling, although Sparrow just kind of it clicked heads left and right, and that's going to be like 17% is basically nothing, so that's no skin off of Axolotl's nose right there. But at the very least, that is some control percentage, right? That's 17% not going to Axolotl, otherwise it would have been closer to probably 30% at this point. Foam does have that barrage, however, so she's going to have to be careful with Sparrow hunting. Sparrow's obviously looking around for the Farah and seeing where they might come from, but Phone has certainly found a lot of value in the past from the Farah. So, well, that's a good opening. That's the direct counter now gone.
Yeah, so now Phone's just gonna barrage. Toasty's gonna be able to finish it, but a lot of damage coming out from Phone, and with no Sparrow and Glacial being the other one, there's no damage coming out from the side of Axolotl Syndicate. Daniel just gets booed. Kurt tries to do what he can to save his team with that down barrier, but it's basically just gonna stall the inevitable. Although this bomb, no, Eox's bomb unable. Eox doesn't get back in mech. So actually,
winnable, maybe?
Yeah, winnable for Axolotl, and it's just Eevee trying to get out at the end, and Eevee doesn't. And now Raja is gonna try to get out, and will after getting a health pack. But a fight that Goofy Goobers realistically should have won gets turned around by Axolotl, just knowing who to focus down, keeping track of stuff like where Eox was in the Baby Diva.
Yeah, definitely. That's the tricky part about this Wrecking Ball composition, playing into the Brawl, right? It was made to counter this Brawl, specifically the cremate variant. That Sparrow.
Sparrow, and I saw what happened. Eevee was going for a flank, saw the teleporter, came back to support the team, and was just behind Sparrow. Clipped him, no issues whatsoever, and Eevee will clean up another 2 in the fight.
Now, crucially, Goofy Goobers only used the Nano Boost in that fight, right? So they're going to have basically 5 ultimates, and Axolotl invested a lot into that fight because they knew it was losing. They wanted to try and keep it, right? Getting a little bit cheeky. It's going to be really difficult. Like, Axolotl are going to need to take a dry fight here.
That's alright, 99%, so that is a bit of a good thing, as Phone gets taken down. The Immortality Field. Oh no, Eox! Eox bomb in the middle of the point, and so many people can't get around the edge fast enough. And Eox gets the remake kill.
You know, better, literally. He gets the remake kill afterwards. So I was wondering which one would have been the play of the game, but I think EOC kind of stole that one.
Well, EOC is going to get out of mech immediately here, and is actually going to go down, and that's 3 off the map for the side of Goofy Goobers, and that's the map. That's the round right there, pretty much guaranteed.
Methinks we're going to Gardens. Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Well, very back and forth, a lot closer than what Control Center felt like, right? Whereas it felt a lot like Goofy Goobers, just dictating the pace of everything. Whereas now, Axolotl are starting to get back into it. I think we got a game on our hands. And as for Gardens, I'd expect Goofy Goobers to go for the Shadow Dive 6-man, whatever you want to call it. That seems to be what they like. Yeah, we do have Eevee swapping over. Yep, there we go. There it is. Good old Reaper Sombra, Winston, Rush, Brawly kind of stuff, whereas Axolotl going more towards the May McCree brawl, right? So we're going to see a little bit of a clash of styles. No Symmetra in play this time around. You do see it sometimes, but not going to happen.
This May and McCree could cause a big issue for Eevee jumping in on that Winston. That'll be one of the key points to watch out for in this round is, can they stop Eevee from getting out? Which it looks like they won't actually. Well, they will, but they'll lose Daniel and Glacial in doing so. And Sparrow getting knocked off the map means this first fight goes straight to Goofy Goobers. Pretty much exactly the way they wanted it to.
That's one of the dangers with Phone in particular, right? She's really, really good at a select few, like MVP caliber at a select few
Right.
heroes, and like Pharah and Reaper are on that short list. Right, so if you can force this specific composition that Goofy Goobers are running right now, Phone is very much in their comfort zone, and that's a very dangerous thing.
Here comes Phone again. Oh, the wall is gonna save Axolotl Syndicate, but now you kind of get sandwiched from both sides. Evie jumping in is likely gonna get taken down. But
Oh.
at this point, Evie kind of just seems like I am distraction. Focus me down so the rest of my team can kill you. Okay, that wall. Rum Sparrow does an excellent job of making sure no one from Goofy Goobers touches, and Axolotl Syndicate get the point for free.
And they still have the Blizzard if they really needed to use it, which I don't think they will.
Don't think they will. Don't
No.
think they need to. There's
Don't
that
do it,
second.
Bone.
That's it. Sparrow is going to just hold on to that. Kurt LeBert will hold on to the sound barrier as well. No need for them. But they're
Yeah.
going to be going up against 5 ultimates this fight.
Definitely, but the Blizzard is
The
like
Blizzard
one
is-
of the best ultimates
yes.
in the game. So unless they can get a really clean EMP Blossom, then
There comes the
hard to say.
coalescence. There's the
Oh, no.
EMP. It does not hit
Oh.
Sparrow. So the Blizzard does come out, but
Wait.
Bone is able to get into the back line onto the 2 members that EMP did hit, Glacial and Jaybird, and just completely tear them apart.
And they flip the point even halfway through that fight, so that's a little bit extra control percentage for Goofy Goobers. This is going extremely back and forth. Now, Axolotl Syndicate's getting a little bit dicey, right? In terms of time, not so much, but in terms of ult economy, it's iffy, right? Because
Not
you have
good.
the High Noon, you have the Shatter, you have the window that's basically going to be up midway through this upcoming fight. But how do you deal with the beat from Scorch? I'm not entirely sure.
Well,
they
we're
just
gonna figure out how to deal with this bomb as well. It kind of goes a little bit
Oh.
too far as
Wait.
Raja dives way too far.
Oh.
Actually, all of them dove way too far as Glacial's Deadeye will just clean up the fight here.
That was hyper aggressive to the max, and I think it was a good idea that early, but I'm not sure about everything else from Goofy Goobers.
It was a good idea to toss the bomb in, but it landed on top of this building near their spawn. It didn't do anything. It didn't even force a positioning change.
Yeah, pretty much they just kind of absorbed Goofy Goobers and said, "Nah, we're gonna send you back to spawn instead." Granted, they are getting a really nice stall here, so Goofy Goobers are very much into one fight territory, but they invested
Forest
a
here.
lot.
Actually, they may get it to 99. Well, yeah, they get it to one fight
Basically.
territory.
Yeah.
Eevee's just gonna die, being too far up to really avoid that.
However, all the stalling also fed
Oh,
a
no!
lot of volt charge to Axolotl, so they basically have. I mean, the Blizzard, the Bat Matrix, the Beats
Raja
are all
got
going to be up
two-shot.
there. Yeah, midway
Raja
through.
got 2-shot, and the second one was a headshot, 150 to 0. Unable to kind of avoid it. Oh no, Raja's dead again.
Oh no! Oh, they solo shattered the EOC.
Oh no! Okay, in Jaybird's defense, Raja was there a second ago before they died. So he might have been admitted. Why EMP hits
Oh.
3?
Oh,
Goofy Goobers flipped it!
oh, why would you allow this if you're Axolotl? I think they got a bit too antsy. They were a bit too quick on the trigger there, and that did not work out for them this time around. That's going to be Goofy Goobers taking the first map.
Raja and Phone both were 90%. You could have easily won this without either of them getting that ultimate. But they still got it. And it's what sealed the fight. That
Yep.
EMP got 3.
Now here's EOC with the triple and the remake.
Where's the remake?
Where's the
Where is
remake?
it?
There. Nope. Here's the remake.
Onto the Diva.
Okay,
Oh, and
well,
actually got a 5k because got the Reinhardt with the Bunny Blaster too.
yeah, well, I guess EOC gets that one. So that's going to be Goofy Goobers going up 1-0. Granted, this series is not over by a long shot. These teams need to get to 3 map wins before claiming anything and moving on to the grand finals. So, I mean, long way to go. It looks like King's Row is going to be the next pick. from Axolotl, not really a big surprise as they looked very comfortable on on the Brawl
Hey,
composition.
yeah, that
As
kind
the
of
OC says
seems
in that
great.
chat, I know you all can't see it, but shocker, King's Row. It's very much Axolotl's choice here, as Goofy Goobers almost never picks the map. They'll pick like Eichenwald or Hollywood most of the time.
It's very much everyone's map pick. I mean, you look not even in advance. You look throughout all of League Zero, and I think Kings Row. Well, they're specific to League Zero. That is Overwatch. Kings Row is just kind of the map that everyone just feels good with.
Oh
So
yeah, definitely. Sure enough, probably not going to be seeing any swaps come in. Granted, I believe Goofy Goobers is the only one that could swap anyone in,
right,
although Schleim, while they are on the bench right now and in spectators, I'm pretty sure I heard somewhere that they broke their arm, so I doubt they're going to be playing. So this is
yeah,
probably going to be the lineups we're going to be seeing from both of these teams, either which way. Yeah, it looks like Axolotl are going to be. No, sorry, Goofy Goobers are opting to defend first, right? Because they
yeah.
won. They get the side pick, so Axolotl will get to force the win condition first, I guess you could put it, right? If they
Right.
complete the map, that puts the pressure on Goofy Goobers to also complete from there. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide to run. Maybe we see some AC 130 strats for the bingo card, maybe, the Bastion teleport on top of the statue, first points, or maybe we just see complete standard. We've seen Doomfist in the past, we've seen Pharah in the past, Echo a little bit, but I'm expecting the Maykree for the most part.
I think all of us are. But the one thing I'm going to say is Flanking Bastion put a video out this week, and in part of that
Oh
video
no.
was AC 130 and showing how powerful it was. So I wouldn't put it past these teams to maybe run it,
The main
especially if you get down to a full hold kind of
Oh
scenario.
yeah, if it goes into extra rounds, there's no reason not to, right?
Right.
The challenge with AC 130 is that your opponent has to not expect it, or you have to play absolutely flawlessly if they do expect it, right? Because it's very easy if you're expecting it to just run like a Kree Hanzo, right, and forfeit the May for that little bit of extra damage and force
Mhm.
them off that Bastion. Um, on the other hand, if they decide to run like a Symmetra Bastion, right, try to do the AC-130, that doesn't work. They can still stay on the Symmetra. It's a decent hero for this map, especially if you want to go around. I forget if it was Novice on Friday or Intermediate Grand Finals yesterday, but I believe someone ran Symmetra quite a lot on their offense of Kings. Where I think it might have actually been yesterday in Intermediate Grand Finals.
I do
Either
remember,
way,
I think in one of the other intermediate games, like a couple weeks ago, we saw a team run. I think it was like Orisa, Sigma, Ash, Moira. It was some completely out of nowhere composition on King's Row. It didn't do horribly. I don't think they won with it, but it didn't do horribly. So we could see something like that. I don't think we will, as both teams are already showing that Kree may. But
yeah,
we
definitely.
could.
Don't expect Daniel to stick on the Mercy. That's probably just a quick little peek to see
Yeah,
who's
there.
where in
But
terms of the
they can
defense.
see Eevee on. They're looking straight at Eevee.
Yeah, well, how did he even get up there? Oh no,
I
actually, I do. There's a way to jump up there without
yes.
any special stuff. So yeah, just bog standard, running it down mid. Who can play this better? Axolotl certainly has a chip on their shoulder because this is their map choice, but
Oh,
with this nice rotation.
Bone's wall is less than stellar, and it forces out an immortality field onto
Oh,
Eevee early. Axo just win the first fight. It's over. They have the first point now.
that was flawless, right? Because the rotation was great. Yes, the Maywall wasn't incredible. I think Phone may have misplaced the direction they wanted the wall to face, but either way, Axolotl just didn't skip a beat. They just went, rotated around. Now Goofy Goobers don't have that Maywall. in their repertoire for another, what, like 8 seconds at that point?
Right.
And they just get a May wall. It doesn't have to be great because Goofy Goobers can't retaliate.
Decent. Alright, we're getting another fight in here. Maywall's kind of trapping players in. Eevee's in the building. Reinhardt beat Reinhardt and will likely fall, but Jaybird goes down too.
Yeah, Jaybird paying with his life, but I'm not sure if it really matters. Having a lot of it.
D-Mech late in that fight, and is that 50% is likely going to get... Oh,
okay.
Okay, that's a Blizzard.
No.
It'll kill out Lupical. And yeah, that's a 4K with the Blizzard. Just by using the Blizzard, they'll get a little bit farther. Can't stop, won't stop on the side of Axo.
I was curious about why they invested the Blizzard, but it does make sense, right? Because they weren't getting the kills. They had a few people coming back from spawn themselves. You might actually have Eevee getting staggered here. Rotated back around, but if Sparrow had noticed it just a little bit sooner, there could have been an opportunity to stagger that even further. Now we're into one-fight territory for second point.
Yeah, they're even going to get a chance to touch. Excellent job kind of blocking that bomb from the side of Eevee, actually, as well. But a high noon from Raja is going to force everyone else in Axo to back off. It won't hit anyone, but Glacial's likely will with a shatter on top of it.
Maybe.
Blizzard from phone. The point hasn't been captured yet. We'll get the sound barrier from Kurt, but Glacial just says, you know what? I don't need no team except for Daniel and Kurt. I can just do it all.
It feels like Axolotl do not have any set structure for how and why they're using their ultimates right now, but it doesn't really matter because they're cycling through them so inadvertently cleanly. And they're just being so hyper aggressive. They're winning the neutral fight and then some, right? So it's coming down to just Goofy Goobers haven't had a chance to breathe yet.
Jaybird's at the immortality limit already. Is going to likely go down this fight. It's still somehow alive. Finally goes down as Eok.
What is happening?
That bomb, it's such a hectic fight, blow for blow, kill for kill, and it looks like with the respawn advantage, it's going to be Goofy Goobers kind of stalling this card out for a second. Especially after phone using the Blizzard. Probably didn't hit it, it doesn't get anyone, but it definitely guarantees the fight as Sparrow goes in?
Okay. Neither of these teams want to give up, but
No, they don't. Sparrow just walked in and ice blocked. And we get a high new Glacial. These teams are not stopping. Glacial's gonna get a D-Mech actually onto Eok and get the kill too. What is going on? This fight has not stopped.
Axolotl ramped this up to 11. The second first point, like the second the spawn gates open, they have not stopped. Period.
Touch.
EOC. Yeah, he can't even move.
Eevee barely touches by getting boops towards the point. Their body barely touches, but it doesn't even matter. It's stall. Scorch gets shattered.
Raja technically fell off because of Kurt's boop, but he would have fallen off from the shatter as well. He was mid-jump, and then Kurt just kind of pushed him a little bit further, but that was... They lost a cumulative 1 second from start to end there. That's ungodly. That's a statement. Right, Goofy Goobers are gonna have a tough time clapping back to that. So it's possible, absolutely is. But with Axolotl feeling at home in the brawl mirror, it's gonna be rough, right?
Axolotl did not lose a fight that round. They called a fight. They did not ever lose a fight though.
They soft disengaged a few times, but that was about as far as it went.
Yeah, they just kept going and going. And we're gonna see something special from Goofy Goobers here to kind of to finish with even close to that much time.
I feel like we just watched that Domino's meme where it has like the small one goes up to a really big one, and the first one was phone misses the Maywall, and it ends with Axolotl finishing with 3 minutes and 59 seconds. Because like the momentum never stopped from there, right?
That is exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened.
Like, if anyone in chat happens to be proficient with Photoshop, feel free to make that and ping me in the Discord. But either way, I mean, this is Goofy Goober's chance to clap back and say, we can do that too, and then make this even closer.
All right. Well, the big thing is Bones Ice Wall is not horrible this time. So that's a good plus. However, it's not really good either. So it's better, but really it just kind of forces
Uh-oh.
the fight to keep going on, and Eevee's dead.
Well, that was a good
Ow.
wall from phone, but no one flies on it.
Right.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
wall for Phone, but a good wall for Sparrow as well. Kind of cuts Eevee's off. Hurt gets killed, so that's okay.
Yeah, so
With the stagger on Eok and with the fact that Kurt's on a Lucio, it's not going to matter.
the big difference right now in this defense so far has been Glacial. I mean, if you look at his ult percentage, I think that kind of tells the entire story. He already has High Noon. It's like 40 seconds into the round. He already has it. It's chill, whatever, you know. So Goofy Goobers are going to have a tough time because I don't know if they're going to be expecting this High Noon to come out, right? You expect the window,
No.
but not the Cowboy to have his
There it is.
death time.
He's already behind.
Oh.
Actually, Phone gets a nice headshot onto Glacial.
Yeah.
And a blizzard,
Blizzard.
coming out from Phone onto point. That covers the entire point, too. So that'll give pretty much one free tick at least for
Yeah.
Goofy Goobers. Now, just how much more of the point can you get with Glacial gone?
Oh.
With Ian.
That might
And
be the
Eevee
whole point.
kills Sparrow on the end of it, too. And Glacial has just returned.
Oh,
A shatter
shatter.
coming out from Eevee, it'll hit too. Glacial is one of them, and I believe we will see Goofy
Should
Goobers
be.
take this point. It will take
Yeah.
a bit, but they will take this point.
It took a second to get the focus fire there, and Axolotl, as always, do not want to give anything up. But this should be Goofy Goobers, right? It was a good
Yeah,
stall.
it is. There
But
it
it's
is.
time to give up and reset for second point. You're allowed to lose a fight over the course of the map, right? So I think we're already guaranteed, by the way, that Goofy Goobers will have a lesser time bank than
Yeah.
Axolotl. I don't think it's possible to get to recover that, but either way, as long as they can finish with at least some time on the board, they're fine, right? They're sitting pretty because they'll get another chance. They just don't want to get held anywhere or lose or get all 3 points in overtime because that means it's a draw or lose scenario for them.
Right.
Coming into
And
this next fight, though, Phone does have the Blizzard, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on that.
I mean, yeah, because Phone's Blizzard basically got them the fight last time. It didn't kill anyone or trap anyone, but it got them the positioning.
Oh.
Bomb coming in from EOC. This could
Oh.
be huge. Oh, it's large without even being large. It just clears the space for Raja to get to with the dead eye.
It was a nice double threat because it forced the shield from Jaybird to be facing
it-
in one direction. It allowed Raja to just get those 2 kills. So
And
that's
it forced Immortality Field as well, so not even
Yep.
being safe from there.
Yep, definitely. And now you're going to probably see another recontest from Axolotl. They do have time to contest second point still, but Phone still has that Blizzard, so it's going to be hard to push into that. They might even want to just give up second point and try.
I think they
and
do.
hold here.
Yep, they can't even touch. With
Yeah.
that wall coming out, they can't even touch. So, getting second point just by using the Amp Matrix and an Ice Wall. That's textbook. That's textbook right there.
Oh, here's
So
the
this bomb, it's on the front of the cart.
Oh.
It still catches Scorch somehow.
Oh,
And Blizzards from both teams. I know, just from Phone. Just overlapped some other red. Oh my gosh, a 4-man shatter from Eevee.
Oh, and Sparrow lost the Blizzard too. Okay, I think Phone, by the way, redeemed herself and then some by blocking
Yeah.
Jaybird Shatter with her May Wall. So that's pretty good, you know, for just having a mediocre May Wall at the very beginning. It wasn't even that bad, just misplaced. It happens, but it ended up in this giant snowball that ended up in this disgusting time bank that you see for Axolotl. But blocking a Shatter is significantly more impressive, right?
Yeah.
Glacial with
It
the
is
High
much
Noon,
more
looking for
difficult to do.
something, but no. he's not gonna find
Glacial
anything.
almost died in High Noon.
They need to protect Glacial a lot better in these High Noons because Phone has his number thus far. Like every time he's standing there, Phone's just throwing in the icicles left and right.
Ice Wall's gonna make it so that those Amp Matrixes, that Amp Matrix isn't as impactful, but Luvical still has his, so that's gonna be the one to watch out for. It's placed in a very good position, but it's no use
Oh,
if Axolotl push through it, which is exactly what they do. The easiest way to counter a... Oh, there goes Luvical off the map. The easy way to counter a Amp Matrix is to push through it.
yeah, pretty much. And it's gonna be yet another hold, but I mean, Goofy Goobers have a ton of time still. They have just under 3 minutes. So while they would have liked to get much closer to the time bank of Axolotl, it's fine. They're not in panic mode quite yet. They still have another Blizzard. They're going to have the Bomb if they want to invest that. They have the Beat if they really need to, although I don't think they'll need to this time around. Because, I mean, Axolotl aren't that close to too many of their ults.
Oh, phone slightly misplaces that wall. But does have Blizzard, so that's what's going to be watching out for.
What?
It gets Glacial. He
Okay.
must have been within sightlines of that, so that's a huge part of your team down right now, and no one's touching yet. There's the Blizzard, and Jaybird gets stunned out of Shatter because of it. That's the fight. I mean, Glacial and Kurt are going to try to stall as long as they can, but no one else is going to get back in time. 2 minutes.
That's not bad. Granted, Axolotl will have about twice the time bank, a little bit less than twice, right? But
Right.
at the very least, they have a good amount of fights themselves, right? So Goofy Goobers can be proud of that. They are going to get their next chance to attack right now. So time to do all of that again, right? But they have a good
Right.
amount of time. It's not like they only have a minute and it's like, oh, they only have like a fight and a half. No, they have like 3, maybe 4 fights if they go fast, right? So this is about the best they could have hoped for in the grand scheme of things. And it's going to be
Right.
on Axolotl to hold for about 2 minutes, which I think they did. If I recall, Goofy Goobers captured with about 1:30 left on the clock.
Yeah.
So if they can do that again, they're going to force Goofy Goobers in.
had
So
just under 4 minutes when they started pushing carts, so that sounds right, because that's 2.5 minutes, I think. I meant the first, when they capped the actual point.
well, either way, nothing really changing between these teams. There's no real reason to.
No.
They're playing pretty well in the Brawl Mirror. So
And
run
again,
it down mid.
good point for Goofy Goobers. The only reason that time make is so threatening on the side of Axolotl is realistically because Phone missed a wall.
Yeah, basically it, right? And I don't even want to harp on that because it wasn't even that bad.
I was about to say, as long as that doesn't happen again, you have no idea what this is gonna hold is gonna look like. As Goofy just get onto the point immediately, just decide we're gonna rotate here. A lot of members from Goofy Goobers low health, especially those tanks, but they're getting the kills and it doesn't matter. They're gonna cap this point.
Yep, that was just a little bit of a misplaced
A little bit of a
everything
moment. Yeah.
Poor positioning, poor target focus from Axolotl. I think they maybe came into it a little bit overly confident. And Goofy Goobers did a great job of capitalizing on those poor positionings, right? They sectioned off anyone who was separated enough to punish, and I mean, there's not much more to say. That was just clean play from Goofy Goobers, and they should be able to push it at least a little bit into the street space. Smartly, they do have 3 people on the card, so it's going to be pushing a lot faster as well. You don't necessarily need that many people up front on the front line, and Axolotl aren't particularly close to anything, whereas Fallen's going to have her Blizzard soonish.
Iceball is going to catch Jaybird out, frozen up, going to take advantage of that immortality field, but that means less resources going through Sparrow, as Jaybird and Tosi will fall towards the end here.
If you're Axolotl,
yeah.
If you're Axolotl, you have to expect that kind of thing, right? Like, they won the first fight so demandingly, you have to expect that they're going to have some kind of ultimates on board. And the Shatter's going to be one of those. So, that's just going to be on Jaybird to track. You are the opposing Reinhardt. You got to keep track of that stuff.
Well, I mean, Eevee got like 3 of the kills in the first fight. With that, you definitely have to expect the Shadow to be on there. And again, the 3 people on the cart was excellent to get it through that archway. Hainu coming up from Braja will be opening this fight up. Won't get anything, but Glacial says it's my turn now, and will also likely not get anything. Will break Eevee's shield.
Oh no. Can Axolotl respond to this? I don't think they can.
No, they can't. That's 2 down. Oh, Sparrow does get the Blizzard out, but Sparrow is so low and not receiving any healing.
No,
All the resources are trying to go elsewhere. It's just Sparrow and Daniel. It is very likely that Goofy will get the second point.
You know, the big difference there between Sparrow's Blizzard and Phone's Blizzard is that Kurt didn't have Beat to respond to it. Scorch did. So Scorch
Right.
was able to keep the team up, right? And Goofy Goobers were perfectly healthy, right? There was a chance that maybe someone gets caught in the Blizzard and dies to Toasty's bomb, but that didn't happen, right? Because everyone just kind of dispersed. They kept someone on the cart. And Goofy Goobers are continuing this beautiful push. I don't know where this came from, but it's great. This is really putting them into a great position to go up 2-0.
Their seventh hero
no.
map as Sparrow switched over to the Junkrat, but a bump from EOC over the top! And Daniel's running.
Yeah, and Sparrow is just on a flank. He is very much
Sparrow
dead.
might as well flank and try to die on cart just to get those mines on cart.
Yeah,
but,
we couldn't even get to cart, so there's no stall potential there. Goofy Goobers have yet another high noon. They're going to have another shatter. And what do Axolotl have?
Basically, they just have the beat that they just used.
Oh, shatter doesn't hit.
Heroes on Bastion. That's how you know it's desperation.
Okay. Wait. No, they can't
No,
touch.
Blizzard's on point now.
Wow. What a push. What a push. What a push. There's nothing more to say. That was just clean from Goofy Goobers and really sloppy from Axolotl.
Someone timed that. Was that faster than Axolotl's push?
It might have been, in all honesty, because they couldn't lose a fight, and they certainly didn't. And they kept more people on the cart, so it was obviously moving fast. That was incredible. That was a statement as well from Goofy Goobers. So we've now had a statement from each team.
The streams, I think, is it 2 or 3 minutes behind? Okay, it is 3 minutes behind.
Yeah.
They are just at the archway on stream.
Yeah, well, the stream is in for quite the show as they slowly catch up.
Yes.
Well, so, I mean, if you're Axolotl, you have a good time bank. But that's also a demanding
finish
push.
the map with it now.
You do not get any extra time for capturing points as well, so that's going to whittle down very fast, right?
Yeah.
So they have the opportunity to lose some of these fights, but they don't want to. They want to hard roll it as fast as possible, and I don't think Phone's going to be misplacing that wall again. So that's going to be really dangerous for Axolotl. I don't blame them.
Raja and EOC just shot at the ground exactly where Phone should place the wall. They are making sure they don't miss
right here.
They
right
are
here and no one
sure
else.
They will not do that again.
Oh dear. Yeah, well, Phone already building up to
There's
that
the wall.
blizzard. There it is. That's the placement she tried before.
Enough memeing Phone about the wall until she misplaces another one. As both teams just going to be in the center fight. We'll see where a wall comes out. The wall doesn't even come out before it seems that Goofy Goobers win the fight.
Yeah, well, that's one fight down.
Stall.
Yeah, I mean, why don't you stall at this point? Your entire objective is to just kill the clock so that you can win a singular fight when it matters, right? So if you're Goofy Goobers, you're sitting pretty.
Lupico's dead.
Lupical is dead, yes, and they need to stall. Actually, you do have Scorch going back to Taxi. They completely disengage. And again, it's fine because Axolotl don't get extra time for capping here.
No, you'll give them a tick, though. You'll give them a tick for free just to get your team back in.
You give them 2 ticks. It's fine.
As long as they don't cap.
Oh, well.
Oh, no, Evie had to jump down super early, though.
Oh, Rush. I ran straight into Sparrow.
Oh, no. And that will be Axolotl taking this point after they take care of the stall. Yep, there goes everyone. 2.5 minutes to finish the map, though.
Not quite as blistering as the first time, but they should be able to get a good majority of the way through Streets phase before the cart hits overtime, right? So they're still gonna have to get somewhere in overtime, and it's gonna have to probably win at least 2 fights, is my guess. But they have a good amount of ultimates, and they're slightly ahead of Goofy Goobers. Not a lot, but just enough where it might actually matter. They need to play this careful, though, because if they allow Phone to get advanced, there we go.
Yep, there's the Amp Matrix, and that will just kill Jaybird, and everyone else runs.
They can't, and now they're gonna get held at this choke point. This is a terrible place to be held if you're the offense. This is looking so incredibly good for Goofy Goobers, especially with the Blizzard and the Shatter online. Those are 2 of the easiest ultimates to land in this area, right? Even though Axolotl look like they want to flank, maybe? No, they're going up to the high ground. It doesn't matter.
They even have High Noon online, so that's just another tool to kind of create position and create space. They don't notice Raja is below the window they're at. I don't think they notice him. High Noon comes out from Glacial. They don't! He gets
Raja
flashed
behind.
out of high noon! But it doesn't matter, Fraja goes down! Oh my gosh,
Dear.
that had the chance of being something,
Not
but
quite.
it
But
was
again,
not.
it doesn't matter because Axolotl only have a minute remaining, right? They only need to kill the clock and then win a singular fight. They don't need to overinvest ultimates, which they're not. They don't need to win these fights right now. They just need to kill as much time off the clock. That is their win condition, and they're doing it, right? There is no way that Axolotl will get close to the very end of this map outside of overtime. And that's all they need. They can bank all the ultimates they want.
I think they won't finish the second point outside of overtime even.
That is possible. Actually quite possible. They do
Especially
have all
with
6 people
Another
on card.
fight coming in, and Phone's
Oh.
dead instantly! Luckily does not use that Blizzard, so that tool is there for the next fight, as Toasty has to use that self-destruct just to heal himself out of mech, but it doesn't kill anyone!
The bomb laid
Shatter
behind
put
card.
Eevee on the ground, but Eevee lives long enough to force Kurt to use that sound barrier to force so much else. They
And
will
Axolotl don't need
finish.
to use any more ults. That's like they just needed to use the 2. They still have the Blizzard, they have the bomb, they have the beat. They're gonna have another window, and
That's
Raja's
good.
halfway to a high noon. Where are
That's
you
Goofy Goobers,
overtime?
but yes. That's Goofy Goobers, but yes, they have 4 ultimates coming in here, and there is nothing on the side of Axolotl. You have to hope, well, Glacier will have that ult now, but you have to hope he gets a pick off with this. Here comes Ant Matrix, and an Immortality Field is gone for the side of Goofy Goobers as Phone's Blizzard gets eaten.
Oh
The
no.
one thing you cannot have been, but Eox is trying to just get this fight won. The tanks are both there. Eevee goes down. Eox is gone and is coming back. Phone is just stalling, trying to keep that shield. Cracked on Jaybird.
Oh dear.
Will finally go down.
So now here's the pressure is on for Goofy Goobers. I think is the best way to put it, because now they actually do need to win a fight, and they invested all their ultimates into the previous fight, thinking they were going to win that, right? But you do have some resources coming in line. Eevee has the Shatter, Raja has the High Noon.
Both on Doomfish, Raja's dead. Frozen up and then headshot. Eevee staying in that Immortality Field, trying to get work done. Phone
finding
gets
value.
one kick. You need to get something big out of this, but Jaybird Shatter will be the response.
We're gonna see a 6-6. Oh my word. We're about 45 minutes into this series and we're not even done with map 2. We might be seeing a draw, we might be seeing like a 7-6 game, who knows, man, at this point.
Did you say you had to scrim at 10 or something? I don't think you're making that.
Yeah, no, well, either way, these teams have 1 minute each. Goofy Goobers get to attack first again. And, I don't know. Man,
Alright, AC 130 time.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, it might be worth a shot. Because, what else do you do?
All or nothing.
Sparrow teasing Doomfist, and they are on defense, so he's coming
I
out on it.
I think...
He's sticking with it.
Yeah, he's not in spawn, that's Kurt, so... Here's your all or nothing, is get a pick early with the Doomfist. Now, my question is, does anyone see it?
No. I see the stream chat, and I see Reefy Deefy say they just need to burn time and win a singular fight. You are correct, but once you catch up, you realize that didn't happen. So here we are.
No one has seen this Doomfist either, so Sparrow, they don't know that Sparrow's on Doomfist and that there isn't a May. They will about 6 seconds after coming out of the gate. Yeah, they will about 6 seconds out coming out of the gate, so that is your time. That is your time limit right there for Sparrow.
Yep. Well,
who's here and is back and is in. Does not get a pick. It's actually Jaybird that falls because so much was put into keeping Sparrow alive. Sparrow's gone too. Toasty's half health and is gonna get demeched here.
Maybe not a draw.
All or nothing. How about nothing for
not a draw?
I mean, zero meter draw.
If we see a 9-9, I am going to lose it. I'm pretty sure these teams are going to lose it.
I'm walking away if we see a 9-9.
Either way, Goofy Goobers are in a really great position once again, right? They were in a great position before and they couldn't clutch it out then, but they can't draw anymore. It's impossible. I don't care how
They
technically
aren't
possible it is, right? They have the window,
right.
they're gonna have the high noon, they're gonna have the tankleds. They should win this next fight.
Jaybird backing off. Shield is broken down. Eevee's is as well, but there goes the archway, so there goes your big hold point. Accidentally, a wall will block off so many, and oh no, Vraja gets pinned. Lupico will get the revenge.
I don't think it matters.
Lupico?
Yep,
Lupico?
Lupico's going ham. That is
Okay, yuck. Okay, you said you can't let the support do all the work there.
You can't keep allowing Goofy Goobers to get these incredible overtime pushes. It's illegal. We have other things to do. Technically, I don't, but that's besides the point, right? I just love a good game. So
Right.
either way, Phone has the Blizzard, Vraja has the High Noon, Scorch is gonna have that beat, and Goofy Goobers have never looked better. They're probably gonna capture this point unless Jaybird gets the shatter of his life.
There was the wall from Phone again, uses that same position. Glacial's
there's the
Vraja,
shatter.
I can't even tell whose it was. One of those High Noons gets nothing. Scorch gets that beat out online. Bombs coming out everywhere. Toasty will get a remix kill. Eevee's the last stalwart. Gets a shatter on the Glacial. Unable to finish the fight. I think it's just Eok and Lupico.
Take it off! There's the win
no one's
condition.
able to touch.
Oh no. Okay, so we're either seeing a 7-6 or an 8-7.
Oh my
So-
gosh. Or we might see a 7. Oh no,
We can't see a 7-7. I refuse to believe that is going to be a possibility.
No, we can't see a 7-7 because it'll turn it down to 6.
Basically, yep. So the line in the sand is drawn. You can see the glowing box somewhere on the map towards the end of second point. And Axolotl have quite the statement to make if they want to even up the series, mind you. Goofy Goobers are up 1-0, and if they win this, they're on match point and poised to go to the grand finals, right? Denying Axolotl the chance to get their revenge against Powerhouse, potentially. But that's potentially a week away, right? We're in the here and now, and Axolotl has their backs up against the wall. Depends on whether they fight or flight, I suppose.
Alright, and it looks like we are going to see standard here. We have only seen 8 heroes play this map. Welcome to Brawl on King's Row.
Pretty much.
Oh no, wait, we saw the Bastion. That's 9.
Well,
So
either
anyways.
way, they only have about a fight and a half, maybe 2 fights if they're fast. So Axolotl gotta act fast and act decisive.
Alright, and they're just gonna roll right in. Let's just brawl in the hotel room.
Oh no.
Goofy win.
Yep, that's a very clean and fast win, which they don't really want a fast win, but a win regardless is still decent, right? Because you're gonna have a decent amount of the way to the
He's
Blizzard.
at 60% to shatter.
Yep, and then you're very
10%.
right now. Phone getting ready for a cheeky wall, perhaps, but I think they scouted her out. I think Sparrow saw her. I'm maybe not. They have to have seen her, right? Right? Maybe not.
Well, I was gonna get 2 away. Alright, the May unable to join, Sparrow unable to join, but unable to keep him. Eevee's in dangerous position, but no one goes after the locked out Reinhardt. And now Jaybird just charges alone. This fight's gonna favor, especially with that shadow, the fight's gonna favor Goofy Goobers. Sparrow switching to the Reaper already, but it might not even be enough
I don't
time
think he
to
can
get
touch.
back.
It
No.
doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh, Goofy Goobers are up 2-0. Alright, so you know how I said the first 2 maps don't matter? We're gonna see if that's true or not here.
Is Goofy Goobers really gonna pull a Season 1 plat chat? Because I feel like that would just be the most disrespectful and incredible thing we've seen in quite a while. Vraja getting play of the game. There's so many good plays, it's hard to say which one this could have been.
Right,
Just
this was the
standard
bomb and Deadeye. Well, this was the
Right.
bomb combo with EOC as well.
Well, it worked.
Yeah.
So, I guess if you're Goofy Goobers, you can be happy about that. They have every single card on the board. There's nothing much more to say there. I mean, they just played really well. They,
He had 50,000 damage blocked.
yeah, well, Axolotl once again get the map pick. They choose Rialto. No real surprise there because, well, it's a brawl map, and despite the fact that Goofy Goobers beat out Axolotl in the brawl mirror, it definitely feels like the most comfortable thing for Axolotl. They could also technically play the double shield if they wanted to, but that's a little bit boring unless you have like a double sniper setup. If you ask me. But anyways, we'll be taking a short break to let everyone breathe. So stick with us, folks. We'll be
Yeah, I
right
need a drink.
back.
Okay, we're back to what is easily the craziest playoff games we have seen.
And this is after Map 7 Grand Finals literally last night, so that's saying something.
Yeah. So Goofy Goobers up 2-0 over Axolotl Syndicate after taking 40 minutes on the last map for us to finish it.
Yeah.
We
It's
are going into Rialto shortly.
Yeah, well, I think teams are just taking a quick breather, especially Axolotl. I think they want to just unwind, relax a little bit
Figure out
because
what went horribly wrong.
they're going to have to figure it out pretty fast because if they want to win, they have to reverse sweep at this point. That's a tall order, but we've seen crazier. Ironically, the last playoff round, both of these teams were involved in a reverse sweep. Granted, it was Goofy Goobers doing the reverse sweep and Axolotl getting reverse swept. So who knows? Maybe they can flip the cards there, or maybe Goofy Goobers are just going to defy everyone's predictions and go on to the grand finals, which would be utterly ridiculous, and I am completely for it.
Listen, the for those of you wondering who may not know, Goofy Goobers have literally only won one game.
Prior to this, yes, and it was against Hope
And that
Speed
was
last week.
their previous playoff game. They literally have a 0-whatever, I think it was 0-10 or something like that, 0-8 or 0-10 record in the regular season.
0-6.
And they are about to 0-6, and they're about to win 2 playoff games.
Yeah, I mean they were never bad. To be fair, like in the regular season, they were never bad. It was just they had a problem closing out, and I think after like 6 or 7 weeks, they kind of figured it out. Okay, because they're starting to win, and Axolotl aren't necessarily playing bad, but they're certainly making tiny mistakes that Goofy Goobers are very much taking advantage of when it matters. Right? So Goofy Goobers are coming in clutch when before they never really were able to.
Yeah, and again, Goofy Goobers say they're ready, production is ready, Axolotl Syndicate still trying to catch their breath and say, okay, we need to not let them do what they just did, and trying to figure out what they're doing for that. Sparrows spamming R. I think they're ready.
Yeah, I think Glacial is not ready, so I think he wants your MVP runner-up to be ready before before
Oh, you
going into the
sure?
game.
Are you
I'm pretty
sure?
sure they want Glacial in the game, not AFK. Especially considering they're going to be on offense first, as you can imagine. Goofy Goobers want to stick on the defense. Maybe this time, not bring us to like a 7-8 scenario, but that's going to be entirely on Goofy Goobers to have a good defense first and foremost. Looks like
Yes.
Axolotl are
Ooh,
just talking for now, probably doing some last minute coaching.
Jaybird with the
There we go.
profile pic change. Is that what it's gonna take? Is that what's gonna bring them the win?
Well, yeah, well, we will see in just a little while as we're going to get a peek at what these teams want to run. Goofy Goobers first because they are on the defense. Axolotl had a little bit more time to meme.
Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
I don't want to say freedom with what you run, but it really does have a lot of more
Yeah,
freedom with what you may run. You'll see a lot of more different things than you will see on other maps.
yeah, definitely. It's going to be. There's going to be a decent amount of pressure on, ironically, both Hanzos here, of Raja and Glacial, to deal with the Pharas, because the Pharas, generally in a Phara 1v1, it's determined by whoever is focusing on the other Phara less, right? Because it's very
Yeah.
hard to win the Phara 1v1. So you just ignore the other Phara and shoot damage in onto the ground and get damage
Right.
there.
So we are going to quickly see just what these teams can do as EOC and Jaybird both brought to half health. So you're kind of trading out your tanks, but Glacial, I think, got direct shotted there.
Yep.
And your first pick goes to the side of Goofy Goobers.
Oh no. Yeah, well, we have
Who-
Sparrow and Kurt on a little bit of a spiritual journey way over in Defender's spawn, but that's fine because they find Lupical somehow. They flank back around.
Yeah, Lupical was back to try to just be safe. Phone will go down as Scorch goes to res Lupical, and it looks like Axolotl Syndicate will keep pushing this card forward. They haven't really been contested this entire time.
Yeah, nah, that's gonna be pretty clean. Toasty cleaning up the kill feed and
Thanks for the assist. You should be a get back.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
positioning there instead of getting a better second point. Raja unsurprisingly swaps over to or off of the Hanzo to the Tracer. I think that's a little bit easier to deal with the Pharah. Not a direct counter like a McCree or an Ash or a Soldier, but it's at least decent. It gives you more versatility, a bit more pressure.
Especially around this point, there's a lot of alleyways, a lot of flanking
Yeah,
options.
especially with Sparrow now having the barrage. He's gonna want to get in a little bit closer. So it's gonna be on Raja to deal with that.
Pulse Bomb the Pharah. It's not going to actually happen as Glacial and Foam both use ults, and both of them do practically nothing.
I mean, they were zoning. I think.
Yeah.
Technically, we'll call them that.
Alright, so
Oh.
here comes the Gritic Flux. It will grab someone. Yep, it does help get Eok out of mech as Raja and Lupico both go down. And everyone else does too. When one of your supports is one of the first one that goes down and your other is a Mercy, it is very difficult because then you lose all of your healing as that Mercy goes to res the other support.
Ironically, Goofy Goobers seem to be getting split quite a lot in this map, which is leading them to obviously not having a functional bunker as well as they really should, and that's leading to Axolotl just kind of dividing and conquering.
Right. Here comes Rocket Barrage from Sparrow. It does nothing, and Raja's Pulse Bomb gets Jaber's Bongo, so that's a plus. Yeah, I think Goofy Goobers have this.
Yeah, that should be a pretty
Somehow in what
nice
is the most chaotic fight I have seen in a while.
I mean, King's Row just existed, but either which way, that's
Oh my gosh, Scorch.
pretty standard place to hold, right? Because the defense has a decent spawn advantage at that point, as well as Axolotl not really having enough ultimates to continue on that fight
Ooh,
any
don't see the
further.
fair.
So,
Air battle.
Okay.
Doesn't lead to anything, okay.
No, the far is not really accomplishing much, but
Well,
quite a
Sparrow's
big-
going to get taken out by Baraja in the back, and we have another Barrage from
Oh.
Foam that is going to get two.
yeah,
That fight's over.
that's pretty much that.
Sparrow does get foamed after coming back, but the res is kind of just gonna say,
Sparrow says Farragap. It's fine. As the res comes in, and we're basically back to square one.
right.
Oh well, that's where was Raja?
I don't even know.
Raja flanking, trying to do a little bit of spawn killing, I guess, getting a bit too
Okay.
cheeky with
Yeah,
no peel
that-
available.
Given the nice shot in chat too,
Oh.
Glacial's Dragon's gonna get some work done as Glacial goes low himself. Won't be taken down though, so we'll likely see Axolotl Syndicate at least get this to the end of this point before taking another fight.
There is the potential for another stall, but I'm not sure if Goofy Goobers
No,
want
they're
to
not. They're
take
not
that.
coming for it.
No. Yeah. Glacial in chat, quote, "I'm hacking." That's lovely, Glacial. Thank you for that. And I mean, neither team has a
Mr. will
ton
be
of ultimates.
investigated after this game.
But,
Um,
I would say that Axolotl
oh, the
have a
Gravitic Flux was cancelled.
more diverse set of ultimates, but less so now.
Tosi has a lot of health, but his Gravitic Flux was cancelled. Jaybird will come back up, but Post Bomb takes out Immortality Field. Sparrow's Justice just gets Faraday, and even though it's one per, it still seems very much in the favor of Goofy Goobers. Although with phone falling, that could very well change.
Oh, Glacial.
With glacial hacking, that could very well change. As he gets a third. Give it. Oh no, Sparrow switched over to Echo, so it's not a fourth. Sparrow stole the last kill.
I love how EOC had his grasp up as Sigma, so the entirety of Axolotl was just meleeing him to death. It's a little bit of a weird scene there if you're not familiar with Overwatch.
Ooh.
But
Phone's
either
on
way,
Orb.
yeah, phone on the Torb, the dwarf, as it were, and decent amount of ultimates online for Goofy Goobers to prevent this push
Dragon
at least
Strike.
for a little while. Oh no!
Oh, Dragon goes through, splits the team, and the team coming out of the left doors just die.
That's gonna
And
be a
this
cap.
card's gonna be capped.
Yep.
Oh, Scorch touched for a second.
Sparrow focusing down EOC there and interrupting the flux was absolutely massive because that could have been ugly. A bongoed gravitic flux is a lot of damage. If I recall, mathematically, it's like 75% of the health bar, something crazy like that. So it's a lot. It's hard to recover from it. But they didn't need to worry about that because it just got canceled, right? So that's going to be Goofy Goobers failing to defend the point. Axolotl will get it with just under 2 minutes, and that's a pretty good time bank for Rialto, right? It's not an easy map to capture all 3 points, let alone with any amount of time. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for Goofy Goobers to step up, right? That being said, they did just that in King's Row, so it's hard to say that it's impossible at this point because we know it's very much possible.
It will be C. We see.
Okay, well,
you'll
Goofy
need to-
Goobers are
You'll need to come
in...
up with a better one than that.
Goofy Goobers are in the attacker spawn. I had a quick call for a pause, but I think it was a meme.
Yes, it is a meme. They're trying to figure out different ways to call each other's teams. So yeah. We will see the Ash Echo coming out from the side of Axolotl Syndicate. It's gonna be what to watch out for, as that dynamite does absolutely nothing.
Doesn't really need to, right? It's just A little bit of extra damage here and there. It's not going to kill anyone.
If Phone's out on the Torb, this is what Phone is staying on.
Huh. Interesting. I guess a little bit extra pressure for Sparrow, but I mean the Mercy Pocket kind of negates that.
I mean, come on, it's Pirate Ship. That's the only reason you play Torb on attack. It's Pirate Ship. Anyways, Glacial gets a good dynamite over top, and Phone's gonna burn with the help of Toasty. So, will be Axolotl Syndicate kind of stopping this push for a little bit.
Yeah, they don't really need
Oh.
to
Raja gets caught out.
hard disengage, but they can't lose anyone else. And it looks like Lupical might be going down, especially with the lamp now gone.
Ooh,
Or,
yeah,
well,
Dam Makers.
out. I'm not sure if they want to use
There's
it,
an
but
Ash
they'll
in the
have
back
to.
line. They are stuck between a wall, an Ash, and an Orisa. That is not a good place for Goofy Goobers to be.
Huh.
And Phone goes down again, just headshotted from Jaybird.
Phone's not allowed to exist in this map, apparently.
No,
the
Torb is not
Fox
allowed to
Arrow.
exist. Ooh, Lupico does get a pick on the Daniel, so that'll first Kurt to come off of Sparrow support for a little bit. But Bob is there to clean up the mess, and once again the fight is won, and Orisa is staggered.
This is looking like a really solid defense thus far. Right, you had Goofy Goobers, kind of just gave up a lot of progress in positioning, and Axolotl are not making that mistake. They have so many ultimates to rotate. I'm expecting the Bongo and the Duplicate to come out. Phone almost getting her head
Daniel.
taken off.
Almost getting Daniel as well, actually. That could have been close. But it seems like these players aren't working together right now for Goofy Goobers, as Eok again almost gets demacked so early.
Yeah, you gotta worry that maybe they're taking their foot off the gas a little bit too early in the series, which would be tragic if it was a reverse sweep, by the way, but we're not there yet. They just need to win one more map. They can
Well-
afford to lose this one.
Yes, and lose this one, it is seeming more and more likely that they will.
They're
Yes,
certainly
we
wasting
Raja to
time.
Ash.
Certainly a lot of time being
Molten Core is
wasted,
here.
and they're not
Molten
really
Core is
focusing on
here.
the cart. The Molten Core is in fact here, but I mean, who do you Molten Core? Well, okay, that's a good
Ooh.
start. Sparrow had
Now you
The
don't have to
duplicate.
worry about the aerial target, so your Molten Core can do even more if you choose to
Raja?
use it. Raja going in for Glacial, who will get res, so Sparrow is not back. Here comes a Gravitic Flux from Toasty Toast. It won't finish anyone off, but it will put EOC low. But it may not work. The Molten Core able to clear out. There is still a turret sitting even there. And
Nah.
Mercy's body is getting run over.
I'm not sure
Rip her.
about that flux, right? Because they should be able to recontest this first point one last time, and having that flux could have been the difference between stopping.
I don't know
it
if we can now.
No, they still have the people,
Alright,
especially with the dupe.
that EOC bomb was close, but Bob just comes in and dies. So with Sparrow's
And the
duplicate
bull?
getting killed twice, that's an interesting kill feed. We will see.
No,
Goofy Goobers
okay.
will win this point with the help of Bob and with the help of Kurt LeBert not staying on point. But he's a Mercy, what can you expect?
Well, Raja completely lighting up the kill feed. I have to imagine that's going to be in contention for play of the game unless anything else crazy happens.
But
You
who
do have
gets it?
Sparrow actually
Raja
swapping
or
over
Bob?
to the
Farah.
Farah,
Was,
yeah.
was
Interesting.
on the Echo, so maybe liking how the Sparrow works a little bit more in this point. Confusing.
Definitely had more success on the Farah, so maybe that was it. Oh, yep. Well, there's a good start to
Yep,
this.
that's a good reason. A lot of that facilitated by the Matrix from Daniel, and it is a team kill.
Sparrow with the obligatory tactical crouch on the phone, and
it's not a team kill because EOC jumped off unassisted.
well, it's going to be a little bit difficult now for Goofy Goobers to push across this bridge, right? Because you have so much poke damage from Axolotl.
Well,
It's-
EOC switches to the Sigma, I think, just because of that.
It certainly will help, but okay, well,
Lupical?
Lupical.
Then the Molten Core is coming
Huh.
out from Bone. It will force this high ground to turn into favor of Goofy Goobers. And now they have a lot more rain on cart. The Bone's going in even harder. And it looks like Jaybird's caught out. That Gravitic Flux is going to save Jaybird, and it'll take EOC out of the sky, too.
That's probably going to be the fight.
Yeah, Jaybird will have that bongo to help finish that fight as well.
Yeah, and that's Goofy Goobers backing up. Reasonably so, wait. They don't have to hard disengage anymore. Okay, maybe now they do.
Yeah, now they do.
Spoke a
But
bit too early. Yeah,
that
this is looking a
card
bit dicey.
has progressed a decent amount from where we thought it would end up, realistically.
Still not as far as it needs to be, but yeah, it's a good start. As well as, I mean, you look at Goofy Goober's ultimates, and they're lacking. They're going to have the duplicate rather soon. They're going to have the Bungo. Yeah, but you have so many good defensive ultimates on the side of Axolotl that they can just kill the clock with.
Here's two of them. Raja dies instantly. Sparrow is playing that ground bar, just shooting through that amp matrix a little bit, I think. Now is on the flank route, and Gorch will actually kill Sparrow with the flail. And then will likely burn. We have to have someone touch. Eevee did touch, but I don't think anyone else can. Raja is looking to get there. So Raja, I believe, triggers overtime, but it's not enough. Everyone's dead.
Well, it's not going to be a complete blowout quite yet, but Axolotl are on their way if they want to continue the attempted reverse sweep. But if we've seen anything from the first two maps of the series, it's very possible Goofy Goobers can win it out.
The only issue now for Axo is every map is Goober's pick.
Yep, it has to be, otherwise they lose.
Right. So you'll likely get some places you might not want to go.
Oh dear, a lot of question marks in chats.
I know why.
They're like aim lock. That's about as useful as aim locking on Winston. Either way. Map pick is of course going to be Goofy Goobers, which is going to be dangerous. We're going to CP.
So Taipei flag difference? Did Jaybird switching the profile picture to the Taipei flag actually make a difference more in the countdown? Close enough.
Nepal, according
to
Pendia.
Nepal.
I confirm or deny because I don't know their flag, but I'll take his word for it.
Either.
We are going to Temple of Anubis, by the way. So, not an unsurprising pick, I suppose.
Or as Jam has called it, if you want to crucify them, Temple of Awubis. Yep.
Yeah, that's a thing. Axolotl, of course, opting to defend first. I don't think that should be any surprise. Most of the time, teams like to defend. Oh, wait, no. Okay, we're not going in quite yet.
We almost were, but I think we forgot to ask if everyone was ready.
Yeah, skipped a few steps there, Chuggy. Either way, actually, Chuggy needs to change the spectators as well.
Doing that right now.
Coaches aren't spectating the wrong team. That would be funny, and also partially my problem because I'm staff. But that's neither here nor there because we're getting it fixed, and well, Chuggy's getting it fixed. We're not.
Axel's ready. Production's ready. Asking if Goofy Goobers are ready. Very likely will be shortly. I think everyone wants to get into this match. At least I know production wants to get into this match.
After King's Row, we just want it to end. that just like killed all of our energy. Either way,
I know.
We're gonna be waiting just a few seconds here while Goofy Goobers probably take a moment to recompose themselves. Right, they only lost one map, but if they lose this next one, it really comes down to the wire, right? Because
yes, and if Advance has 3 reverse sweeps in a row, it's gonna look very, very interesting. And
the only way it would get crazier is if the grand finals was a reverse sweep, which would be hilarious, but also terrifying for anyone who had to cast that. So,
isn't that 7 maps?
That is first to 4. 7, yes.
I mean, yeah. So that would go all 7. Oh.
Yeah. So.
All right. So we are just waiting on Goofy Goobers. Temple of Anubis. We'll probably see Farah. We'll probably see Sigma resub. We'll probably see some of the similar stuff. I think
we've seen like
Genji last week.
Yeah, we've seen some Genji in the past. I don't know if it was Advanced Division or not, but I wouldn't be shocked. In all honesty, if anyone was going to pull it out, it was probably going to be Advanced. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, it's hard to say. We're just waiting on Goofy Goobers at this point in time, and honestly, I'm expecting probably like a dive slash bubble on the offense, and then probably like a bunkerish composition on the defense from both of these teams, right? That's what we've been seeing a lot as of late, and the Goofy Goobers are, in fact, ready now. So we'll be getting into that in just a moment.
Yeah, we maybe see dive. Maybe we'll see kind of a version of the shadow dive coming from Goofy Goobers. They do tend to like that, but I think we will see Sparrow come out on Pharah just with how well it looked last map. I think we will see it at some point, possibly not defense, but I do believe we'll maybe see it at some point throughout this map.
Possibly, yeah. I could honestly see it on defense. It's a little bit harder to pull off on the offense, but I've seen crazier things at this point. Um, we're gonna get a first look at what Axolotl want to run in just a few seconds, obviously, because they are on the defense. Goofy Goobers on the offense, so they can beat around the spawn. Again, neither of them really seem to be doing so. Yeah, so interesting if Goofy Goobers want to run out on the Orisa composition on the offense, but I'm not going to say anything until it's closer to the gates opening.
Yeah, 'cause they
Axolotl,
haven't even walked out of the spawns. I mean, out of
yeah,
the hero change room, so that is very likely not going to stick. But we
yeah,
will see the Ash Echo that I mean, basically the same composition we saw on the defense last map
no
for
reason not to.
Axolotl.
No real reason not to, right? It's a good composition. They played it well. Obviously, they won Rialto, so I think that's reasonable enough. Um, in terms of Goofy
Phone's walking
Goobers,
out on Torbjorn.
they don't seem to be swapping, so we're
Phone's
seeing attack.
they're walking out on this.
Okay, it's not a terrible comp, but it's interesting to say the least. Unorthodox.
I will
for
say
sure.
this: I do not understand the Torbjorn. I could see every other character here. I do not necessarily understand the Torbjorn in this fight.
He's just
On
bulky.
attack.
He's
Yeah,
he's just
bulky.
a good hero to stick around in a fight,
But
right?
yeah, but Kree has the same health as Torbjorn. I mean, Anyways, we'll see Lupercal's Immortality Field being the first casualty, and then Phone's turret. So, those two resources are gone for the
Daniel?
next foreseeable future, as
What?
both Orisas go down, and then we'll see a DPS from both teams go down.
I don't know
This
who
is
has
still an
advantage here.
even. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. This is still an even fight as of right now. No supports have gone down, but Lupercal is able to shoot Sparrow out of the sky on that better soldier, and it's
Yeah, pretty
looking
much.
like
Goofy Goober should have
Yeah.
a decent amount of advantage now. They have the spawn
they are
advantage
going to
and they're
wait a
fighting-
little bit. Okay, so they do wait for their Orisa to come back to actually step foot on this point.
Ooh, Jaybird is melting though. no.
Phone is melting faster, and Phone is dead. So Glacial is now trying to put work in, and Glacial will put work in. That's 2 ticks though.
Yeah,
Positive side for Goofy Goobers.
that is now the win condition set for the time being. Still a potential for a draw if they cap first point, not anything on second, but we're not there yet. Where we are right now is 88.0% of the way
And
through first points, and a decent
Ultimate
amount.
time.
Yeah, a decent ult bank for Axolotl, so I'd expect this defense to go a little bit differently now, unless Goofy Goobers play it a little bit safe, build
mean,
up some of their ults like the dragon.
I think Raja is gonna wait till those dragons come up.
Oh,
I think that is part of the plan as the Gravitic.
I love this rotation from Goofy Goobers. He can't even get anything. He whipped it.
No,
Oh,
staying in the building makes it next to impossible for Tosi's Gravitic Flux to hit anything. And now we'll see the Ant Matrix come out from Lubical, and Raja's dragons are going to tear through members of this team. Bob's gone, and Sparrow is already low on the Orisa. The Molten Core, Scourge doing work as well. That's Goofy Goober's gonna get this point here, especially because they don't have to hold it. Yeah, if they don't, it's gonna look horrible for the team.
Yeah, that was. It took him a little while
There
to
we go.
get
It's
there.
point.
But at the same time, this bunker is not going to play fast by any metric, so I think it had to be expected that they
Ooh.
were going to take their time.
Okay, that
Nice.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, Pharaoh sacrifices himself to get Eok out of mech. I definitely say that's worth it. Because Sparrow is already respawned and back with his team, and Eox still at 30% to getting that mech back.
Yeah, demeching DOC there was definitely crucial in preventing any kind of snowball. Granted, Goofy Goobers didn't really have the ultimates to snowball. They had to invest everything just to get first point. Okay. Another flux.
Okay.
Looks like it actually got someone this time.
It got a bunch of people. I think it got 4. And Scorch was one of them. Tried to dash through the shield bash, unable to get out of it. So, just everyone kind of says, "All right, let's just end this fight by kamikaze."
Pretty much. I mean, if you all feed together, it's a strategy, not feeding. So,
Right.
Crucially as well, Axolotl really only used the flux in that fight.
Yeah.
Right? So they have the bongo, they have the duplicate, they have the window if they really want to use it. And Goofy Goobers don't really have too much. I mean, they're coming up in both DPS ultimates, but those alone, even with the window, aren't necessarily the best things to push in here.
The dragons might work. Dragons, because it is dragons and molten core, it might work pretty well to clear the point completely off. But that is going to be very interesting to do. As we will see Ant Matrix coming out. Here comes the molten core. It is going into the back lines, and it will clear off the point a little bit, but Jaybird just says, who needs anyone to be on point if all of you on Goofy Goobers are dead?
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, Jaybird is very dead. Or no, sorry, Eevee is very dead. They keep switching sides. It's hard to remember.
Yes.
But either way, I mean, that was another really clean fight. They only used 2
He's gonna
ultimates.
Yes. Yes. No, okay. A little bit of Kurt teabagging his teammate.
That's about the most quintessential Kurt thing I can think of, in all honesty.
Yeah.
And Axolotl, speaking of them, have a pretty hefty ult bank to work from. They're just cycling through them, and they don't really need too many in these fights to win. So it's just a very comfortable defense so far from them, right? I mean, you have the rally coming up from Scorch, but I mean, like, what do you do once you have the rally? Build up to a bomb, I guess? But the bomb's not really gonna do anything by itself, at least not usually. Oh, they're just
Phone
going
is still
in.
on Torb. Raja switched over to McCree, and Phone is for some reason still on Torb. I mean, it hasn't looked bad, but it's weird. That's basically what I can say about it. We'll get the rally coming out from Scorch to give the team the armor up. And Lupico going to use this Ant Matrix in an interesting position to kind of give his team the high ground and give this team this back right area. As Eevee is over there trying to do what they can, but Toasty has a pocket. Yeah, Toasty has a pocket, so it's going to be very difficult to make Toasty fall out of here. And Glacio's just going to play around this spawn door. There's no reason not to.
See, the question I have for Goofy Goobers is, you rotated over to this far right area, right? What do you do now? Because you're just kind of stuck. The opponents have the high ground. They had the ultimates if they wanted to invest, if they had the resources. So you just had Goofy Goobers effectively feeding into a lot of...
Yaka's mech has remech. Oh, unable to use it.
There's no reason to, because then you're just feeding even more health bars to the ult
But
economy
if
of
you
Axolotl.
remech kill someone, it looks cool.
Not in that
Yeah,
case,
no,
'cause it would more quickly lose them the round. There is still the potential, because now they do have some ultimates.
Oh,
Toasty has
Rabbinic
had a
Flux
flux
gets
every
two.
single fight.
Gets two, including Phone and Eevee. They will be able to be healed back up, but that is the immortality field out to save them. So,
There is a chance.
a
They have
lot
Bongo
of
window, but it's
questions
going to be
now.
difficult. Oh no.
Raj is
Oh
dead,
no.
just beamed down, and the dragons are gonna kill Eevee almost completely. Bongo Bomb will not get anyone. Pharaoh just going to work, taking both DPS down, and we will see
Yeah,
this. We will see the second point get held by Axolotl Syndicate, as Sparrow is just cleaning up on this Orisa.
All the headshots.
Oh,
A quick final touch, but it's not really going to matter. It's going to be second held. Anubis is so hard to capture.
it
Right,
is.
the second point, it's very difficult. But yeah. It's gonna
So
be...
you're likely happy you captured that first point then, though.
Yeah,
That is-
definitely. Because you can definitely hold that first point. It's a little bit more difficult. So the pressure is very much on. But it is possible for Goofy Goobers to win this, right? Or at the very least draw it. I'm sure they would love to prevent Axolotl from winning it. Prevent that.
Hashtag winnable.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're gonna see the first look at what Goofy Goobers want to run on the defense in just a second. Probably the same old, same old. I'm curious to see whether they run the Diva or the Sigma. It is going to be the Sigma with the Junkrat. I don't blame them. I actually kind of like the Junkrat better than the Echo, personally speaking. But that's just me. Both are absolutely viable. And
Attackers.
Axolotl teasing the double shield. No real changes. Except for Daniel on the Ana. I don't believe that was their last round. But that being said, he was kind of known for his Ana last season on Noot Noot. So I know this man can be quite sick nasty on the hero. I don't think Kurt's gonna be okay. They are swapping actually, so I don't know what Daniel's playing. He doesn't know what he's playing. He's still in the spawn to change if needed. Okay, it's gonna be the Baptiste.
Alright, yep, pretty standard. So phone already has 20%.
Yeah, well that's
Gorge.
that's Junkrat for you.
Gorge is spamming the ambulance voice line.
Scratch 20%. Phone has 70%.
Phone has 2 kills. Phone has 80%. Phone is sitting here at the entrance to this room. They are trapping them in that room.
Phone is in your back line. She has a rip tire. And I don't. They should expect it because Phone lit up the kill feed there, if not in final blows and assists. But I don't know if Axolotl are going to expect it. How do they even deal with that? Right? Like they have to use the lamp, but then you can't rotate as effectively as you want to.
Call the ambulance. Someone call the ambulance. Gorge keeps spamming it.
Oh.
Alright, Phone gets another
Gonna
kill,
need
and now
the tire.
Phone's gonna. The team split. You have the tanks and Daniel up here in this first point, and then your DPS and the Mercy backwards. Phone's just gonna rip fire someone.
It's gonna be
From the top ropes.
Sparrow. It's gonna be Sparrow. The BM.
Well, Eevee and Lupical are dead, so
Wait.
and so is Phone.
Wait, they forgot about the tanks. Oh no.
So
Axolotl
yes.
maybe have a chance?
they do. Raja takes one down, so Raja's gonna have to be the hero here, or Bob, one of those two. Raja does have a Mercy pocket, so it is very likely.
They lost focus. They lost focus. They forgot
They
about
did.
the tank and Daniel. And that created a massive opening. And
No one's touching point. Is anyone gonna touch point? Okay, we do get Eevee on point. Eevee on point. What they gonna do though? As Lupical stands in the Dragon Strike. That is not a very smart decision, but will end up living, and Gravitic Flux on the Jaybird hits nothing because Jaybird is gold.
Wait,
Phone?
Goobers coming back, maybe?
Phone is dead, so is Raja, but it might have done enough. It did do enough. Goopy Goobers are back.
Barely.
Just the Echo Mercy.
By the skin of their teeth. That was ridiculously close, and that honestly came down to both teams at different times not respecting what the opponents could do, right? You had Goofy Goobers ignoring the front line of Axolotl, and that's what gave them 2 and some change ticks, and then you had Axolotl not really respecting the recontest.
Right. So we will
Okay.
get a Gravitic Flux. It will land onto EOC, who's gonna die from the fall. And okay, yeah, that's just one from the side of Axolotl. But
Yeah.
now you have a draw condition.
Yeah. It's gonna
Hold
be tough.
for 4 minutes.
That's
It is
not
gonna be
easy.
tough. But you have a phone.
You have a rip tire, basically. By the time Axolotl really contest point, it is going to be there. Sure. Well, yep, there we go. Almost before I can finish the sentence, and there we go. Rip tire online, faking out a little bit of glacial shock.
Lupical might kill Jaybird. Oh, here's the Riptire. Ooh!
Oh, phone got greedy. There was a free kill on Toasty there for a moment.
Almost a free 3 today. It's very likely that they're never mind. I would say it's very likely Goofy Goobers will still win this fight, but with phone going down and Raja as well, they'll just move on to point. Axolotl on point with a.
They don't touch.
It has been 0 days since the last C9.
I think it was already 0 days since the last scene. I'm pretty sure that happened at least twice in the grand finals yesterday. Toasty, play the game.
It has been 1 day since the last scene.
Grandmaster Division C9, Sparrow says, and indeed it is.
Yes.
Just Toasty free farming for play of the game. We're going to a map 5. Axolotl very much want this reverse sweep, and it is
Yeah.
in their sights. However, Goofy Goobers took the previous
Of course.
control map 2-1. So
Both of the others play pretty well to what Goofy Goobers won on, which is the Junkrat or the Shadow Dive.
yeah, it's hard to say.
So we are going to be getting ready. I believe the map is going to be chosen by Goofy Goobers, so they can choose
Yep.
between Nepal and I am blanking on the last map. I have no clue why.
Nepal and Busan.
Busan, that's the other one. So
And Busan is, in fact, the
Yeah.
pick here. So this is going to be where all things end. This is not going to be a room for a draw anymore. This will end here. And
Well,
now,
well, about that, if both teams stay on the point at 99%, he can make this game go on for a very long time.
yes, but I don't think that'll
We're
be
not
the
going to
case.
see that. We're not going to see that. Both of
didn't
these
really
teams
happen
want to
in
face
Utah.
Powerhouse.
Yeah, both of these teams definitely do. So it's going to be up to Goofy Goobers to stop the reverse sweep. And Axolotl, if they want to stay in it, they got to prove that they can avoid getting reverse swept twice in a row. Right? So, or no, sorry, they can. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm tired. It's late.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
get into it. We're just about ready here. We're just waiting on Goofy Goobers give the ready signal. We'll be hopping to the fabled land of Korea for this showdown to end somewhere along the Busan Bay.
We're ready.
We're going
Everyone's-
into it, folks.
GGO is ready.
Strap in.
Axo is I believe Axo has said they are ready. Yes, Axo is ready. We're ready. Let's go. Get us in here. It's Axolotl Syndicate versus Goofy Goobers 2-2, Game 5. This is the go to the final. I
Could
figured
not
we'd
get
get the map by
closer.
now.
They tried. Yeah, we're waiting on Chuggy here. Just gotta press a button. Just click the button that says start. Any moment now. There we go. Chuggy says starting.
And we are still not starting. So Chuggy is toying with us.
at
stop
some point
that
in
FTE.
time the button will be pressed. There it is.
There we
We're
go.
going.
Oh my gosh. So Busan, we are here in
Initiating match.
one of these maps, the
Mech
one with the
base.
moving walls. I could get names of some of the
Mech
other
base.
maps. I can never get Busan's maps names though.
This one is mecha base and is very brawl friendly, so expect to see basically a redo of King's Row in a lot of ways.
Yes.
I'm not really expecting much else. I could maybe see Sparrow try and get cheeky, run out on the Doomfist. I've seen that before. Actually, I think we saw that yesterday as well. I forget how well it worked out. Fraja teasing the Symmetra could also just be a quick swap to get people out. Actually, Glacial teasing the Doomfist. I'm not sure if he's going to want to stay on it, but
No.
it is actually a common pick here on Mech Base. The walls do help.
But I really don't think we're gonna see. We might. Sparrow played it last time, which is why I'm a little bit confused. But yeah, we will see Glacial come out on the Doomfist, and Kurt will make up his mind eventually. And
Okay.
Raj is coming out on Sim. So we got a lot of.
Oh, well, Fraja does not exist
I don't
anymore.
know how that happened. I was on Raja's POV, and all of a sudden he's gone. I didn't even see the pin, so Raja is probably just going, what happened? As we see Sparrow get taken out as well, but Glacial doing Doomfist's doomy stuff.
Yeah, I think Glacial might be the better pick here for the Doomfist because he's a little bit less suicidal. Creative, I guess, is the best word than Sparrow, right? So you kind of
but
want
Sparrow,
stability.
you can't blame Sparrow. Sparrow is trying all or nothing on King's Row. You can't really blame him for that. As
Oh, I
you will see Axolotl
because I know his team does.
first point.
Yeah.
Axolotl get the point first. They're now holding at this doorway, and now they'll probably move to the other doorway because that's how you hold on mecha bases. You hold one doorway, then you hold the other doorway.
Notably, Phone is basically double
Ooh.
full charge for the Blizzard compared to Sparrow, so that's going to be a rather good win condition for Goofy Goobers, assuming they don't
Never
die
hit no
here.
one because of the ice wall. Bones saves the team with an ice wall yet again,
Oh.
but never mind.
Nope.
We will see
GG,
Kurt getting
go
frozen.
Doesn't really matter. You're going to have a nasty stagger here onto EOC. He can't even get through the doorway.
I'm assuming that Fire Strike was through Daniel's Ant Matrix.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
With the wall. Oh. A May wall. Didn't quite work out the way they wanted to, but it was a great wall. No focus fire, unfortunately. And coming into
Here
this,
comes
honestly,
TP again.
TP once
Oh,
again.
TP to the other doorway. That's actually an interesting way to use it. So, again, a wall is gonna keep that self-destruct from doing much from either side.
Glacial almost died to the remake.
My God. And just cleaning up. Good focus fight. Good,
Toasty.
good fight.
Having a seizure on point. Yep, there we go.
Lucy's been doing that all match, just jumping up in 360 randomly.
Well, condolences if Pendy happened to catch that on stream in first person. But you do have Glacial swapping off of the Doomfist onto the Kree. Not really any surprise. Neither team has too many ultimates, but Goofy Goobers has a slight advantage here, so I'd expect them to hold on to it.
Ooh, they do get through. Okay, they are trapping Eevee. Eevee is going to die, but gets the Shatter out and gets the Sound Barrier health to deal more damage before going down. Probably not gonna actually be much of a change though. Lupicle's the last one alive and is now just dying on point. And yuck, EOC gets E-Mech.
He's not allowed to go through doors. He can't. He was halfway through the remake animation. Daniel was very much in danger there.
Yeah,
but it
which
didn't
is
quite happen that way. Thankfully,
where the
for
remake
Daniel.
could be very powerful. And Eevee's
Oh,
caught
no.
off again, alone by that
Yeah,
ice
this much.
wall. Sparrow.
Oh. Oh,
Sparrow
no.
basically putting the team on his back with the ice walls this game.
Yeah, didn't need to build up Blizzard that much because the ice walls were just that good. Bomb coming in from Toasty doesn't really matter. That's going to be a clean 100-30 for Axolotl Syndicate, and they're one round away from completing the reverse sweep. The third one in a row for Advanced, which is insane. I have no words. But if there were ever a map that favored Goofy Goobers, it would be this one. Because this very much plays into that Reaper Sombra Winston brawl composition that they love to play oh so much. Phone is very much comfortable on the Reaper. Not just comfortable, but standout player on the Reaper.
Ooh.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Double shield from Axolotl.
And they'll have Sparrow on this Pharah.
Well, they are gonna have a difficult time dealing with the Sparrow then. But
Yes. It will be up to Raja basically to hack Sparrow out of the sky. And even then, it's hard to get Sparrow out of the sky.
it's gonna be difficult for
Eevee's dead.
yeah, Goofy Goobers have to just
Jump
engage
in.
hard on the front line.
Oh, Raja gets one and Eok gets one, so while Sparrow's still
Sparrow's 3
uncontested, Sparrow's dead, and Eok
This
gets
might be in
two
favor
while
of the
Team Mech.
Goobers.
Yes, it does favor Goofy Goobers.
Raja cleaning house and then
Gorgeous.
some. That
Yeah.
entire fight was just Raja, and kill feed.
And
Oh,
Eok got 2 kills on Baby Diva form.
pretty much, yeah. I think one of those was actually in the mech kill, but
It might
the
have
kill
been.
feed didn't show up until after the D-mech happened. Oh, I love this aggression from Goofy Goobers.
Oh,
This is exactly what they need to do.
Exactly, it forces the immortality field very early, and now you don't have it when Eevee jumps on your team. If Eevee ever gets a chance to jump on your team.
Raja already has EMP. Phone's not even 30% to Death Blossom.
Hey, man, EMP! Hack the planet! And that'll be almost guaranteed a fight when Jaybird goes down. Kurt is still manually hacked and forced out. Raja has a translocator up top, so it's going to be able to get away from this fight very easily.
Look at the massive ult advantage that Goofy Goobers have here. They can sit pretty. EOC against D-Mech doesn't matter, he just bombs.
And it gets
glacial.
And it gets Toasty out of mech. I was wondering, I saw someone close enough to that. Toasty is punched now too. And Goofy Goobers are gonna win this. Kurt Lippert even uses Rally to try to keep this team alive, but
Wait, they
want this fight so bad, but there's only 3 people to benefit from that rally.
3.
They might only need it. With Jaybird doing work again. Oh, someone's on point. Alright, 73%, 75%.
That's about 1 fight territory in some change, so that's,
Yeah.
excuse me, pretty darn good for Goofy Goobers. Choking on air as I speak, but is looking really good for Goofy Goobers because they're gonna have another EMP somewhat soon. They already have the Blossom. Finally, Phone's a little bit slow to build up to it.
Yeah.
And when you look at Axolotl, I mean, they have ults, yeah, but
Well, Raja
I don't
gets
know.
one flank, and Raja has EMP.
basically, yeah, I feel like what Goofy Goobers has is more impactful, especially in the context of these compositions. But Phone
Use
dies!
everything. Phone did not use Death Blossom, so that is your one positive. And the other positive is Axolotl used
Wait, are they gonna win
everything.
this?
They might still win this. Lubrical goes down, so that is a lot of healing out of the way. But Phone and Raja can heal otherwise.
Oh.
Raja will use the EMP. It takes Glacial and Toasty. High Noon from Sparrow will get Scorched, but at this point, it might already be over. It will be.
We're getting into 1 fight territory, and mind you, Goofy Goobers don't have a lot to work with now, but they still have the Death Blossom. Lupical's going to have that Coalescence, and it's really just Daniel with the M-Matrix here for Axolotl, and he almost dies the Phone! This is looking really good. This is literally the flip of the previous round.
There's the Matrix. Have to use it early because Raja will just hack you and make it so that you can't use it later on. 99% already, and they're off the point because of the Coalescence. Jaybird doing what they can. It's up to Jaybird basically, but Phone.
Oh.
Excellent positioning for that Death Blossom. Does not get the final blow on anyone, but deals so much damage to those tanks it might just be enough. Oh no.
Daniel into a winning fight.
Daniel and Glacial.
They invested Bongo into a 1 fight because that's how much Goofy Goobers are pressuring them. This next fight, and mind you, Goofy Goobers have like at least 2 more fights remaining. They could maybe squeeze a 3rd out of it if they really wanted. If they're patient, Goofy Goobers can build up EMP and then have a Primal.
And they have that win condition of EMP coming online and will definitely come before the point ends. Raja.
Oh, well,
Ooh.
that's one way to shut down Raja.
Yes,
Okay.
82% on that EMP. It'll be close. I think you'll get it as overtime comes
Oh.
up. Glacial's turret gets scorched.
Oh no, this is getting a little bit dicey because we're in 1 fight territory. They need to touch, and they need to do it soon, and they're not particularly close to the point. I don't know what Goofy Goobers
They
are
have
doing.
the Diva, they have the Winston. They will touch.
They should.
No, they,
okay, there
yes,
we
they
go.
do. Phone's on point.
For a
Eevee's in
second.
Primal and gets Glacial. Your problem has been removed. Eevee is stunned up. I don't know how long Eevee stays alive, but is able to get back behind the rest of the team. There's the
that's
damage
EMP.
from Daniel. It needs to be huge. It needs to do everything. The EMP takes down Sparrow, and Jaybird can't go golden, but is running away. Not able to run far enough.
Oh dear.
I think Goofy Goobers have it. They just
They
have to
should.
finish the cap. They have to
They
take down
should.
Toasty and Kurt, and that is it. Alright,
This
here's
was-
the flip. Overtime burning.
Ooh,
We are
we're
going to round 3.
the absolute distance. This could not go any further. If we tried, do not tell me about map 6. Kings Row makes up for that. But this that last round could not have gotten any closer, right? It got really dicey for Goofy Goobers, but this is another round that kind of favors their playstyle and this composition. They don't need to swap anything. Axolotl might actually want to make some swaps here, and it looks like they are, at least in terms of DPS. It's hard to say if they want to stick on this right now. They have a few more seconds, but it's okay. So Sparrow back onto the Torb. Actually, Glacial was on the Torb last round, so they're just kind of swapping back and forth. But yeah, same old from Goofy Goobers. No reason to change that, right? They played really well on this
It works.
composition.
If it ain't
Yeah, it
broke, don't fix it.
They just need to make sure they keep their composure with their ult economy and their focus fire, and they can avoid what happened last round.
Oh, no.
They almost lost it.
Oh, Sparrow was almost completely caught out, able to alert his team that, hey, the rest of Goofy Goobers are behind me before he gets taken out.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick first capture for Goofy Goobers and soft disengage from Axolotl, but they want to recontest.
EV is still low, and Eoc finally gets healed up, so you have the opportunity to get some good damage in here and possibly get a pick onto EV early. And Eoc's out of mech too, so that is exactly what the doctor ordered. No one's even gonna get close. Lupico has coalescence, by the way. That happened. I'm hoping Lupico doesn't use it here. But
It might have been worth it at one point, but by the time you said that, yeah, it's not worth using
Right.
it anymore. So they did get about 30%. They're stalling for a little bit. No, never mind. About 1% extra that EV got.
Yeah!
I guess you take those.
All the difference. It probably won't, but it could.
not 1%. If you manage to get onto the point and stay on, that's a different story. But we do have a swap over to the Reinhardt. I kind of like the Reinhardt swap because diving onto a bunker is not easy, but brawling into a bunker is kind of easy.
Reinhardt works pretty well on this map too, with the drum, being able to use the drum. Unless you just get insta-gibbed by Toasty.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just a lost fight. Lupico uses Coalescence, Daniel uses Ant Matrix, and the fight is over.
Yeah, well, that's a GG. Go next. The control percentage is not very far up, but Axolotl do have a decent ult bank to work with now. The basically 5 ultimates outside of the Ant Matrix, which they just used to melt EV and win that fight. So when you're coming up to the Goobers, it's going to be on Phone and Vraja to build up their ultimates.
And they've bunkered in that top room too, so it's very difficult to go into that top room.
Oh, the
As the Gravitic Flux will get both tanks, and Vraja has to TP out. EV and EOC still alive. EOC eats the dragons.
Oh,
We'll lose the mech for it, but that's almost worth it. We'll lose the life for it. And Scorch don't get stunned out. Scorch uses the sound barrier to keep the team alive, but it is not worth it enough. Raja uses EMP for some reason, gets a 4-man. It's not bad, but there's no one to follow up. You just have yourself in the support.
They might have just handed the entire series over to Axolotl and enabled the
90%.
reverse sweep because they had both EMP and Blossom, and they could have just EMP'd and then Blossom.
No one touches.
EOC should be able to, I think.
Barely. It's on point.
Oh.
EOC has to take so much damage, and the shatter from EV hits no one. It's all going wrong for Goofy Goobers. Coalescence comes out. Molten Core from Sparrow. Glacial's got 2 already. Raja's on the legs, and it's over. Goofy Goobers. They tried. They failed. And Axolotl Syndicate likely are going to be your team facing Powerhouse. They are going to be your team facing
The
Powerhouse.
reverse sweep is completed, and despite losing here, I've been saying it all season long, but it doesn't lose any meaning in my opinion. Goofy Goobers are much better than their records show. They are really good. You can't see it on stream, but Axolotl is complimenting them and saying they are quite crazy as a team. There's the fire.
Glacial said had me scared, so that is.
Yeah.
Kurt, you guys played so well. Yeah, this Goofy Goobers team, oh my gosh, has nothing to be ashamed of with that.
No.
How they put up in playoffs.
No, definitely not. And this will in fact be the fated rematch of the Grand Finals, Powerhouse versus Axolotl Syndicate, as everyone expected, although a few road bumps on the way to get there. But stick with us, folks. We'll be right back as we get someone from Axolotl Syndicate to do an interview.
All right, I need. All right, we are back after a reverse sweep. Axolotl Syndicate come out on top over Goofy Goobers, and we'll be facing Powerhouse in the finals next week. We are joined by Glacial, one of the DPS players for Axolotl Syndicate. Welcome and congrats on the win.
Thanks. That was a scary one.
Yeah,
I was about to say,
imagine
it took
so.
you a bit. Took you a bit to get there, but all that matters is that you won in the end. So,
In particular, I gotta ask, what was the team's mentality like after King's Row? Because that had to be grueling.
We were pretty scared because we consider our Rhine comps to be our best comp, and then losing 2 maps to as our Rhine comp, we were a little scared because we would have to swap it up to something that we haven't practiced, and so we ended up going to double steal as a backup for the most part. It was just that was something random. We've never practiced that.
so
It definitely worked out.
you're saying the double shield is what changed, and not Jaybird's profile icon.
Jaybird was very against double shield. He hates Orisa so much, but we had to play it. It was our only option.
All right, Ackery.
So, in particular, I noticed throughout like every single map, there'd be a lot of situations where like you'd have say like Sparrow play Torb one map or one round, and then you'd play Torb the other. Is there any like rhyme or reason behind that, or is it just kind of like whatever you guys are feeling at the time?
So Sparrow and I are kind of a weird case because we're both primarily flex DPS players, but we both can play hit scan. Like I'm technically hit scan, but I have a big pass as a flex DPS. So whatever we want to start on, like say we wanted to do Torb Pharah, Sparrow, one of his best heroes is Pharah, and I could play a solid Torb. So like that's what happened. But if we want like me on it depends on like what's around the Torb, I guess. Because we both play Torb to like about the same level probably, but the other heroes, whoever's stronger at it, we usually just put them on it.
All right. And I do have one more question before I hand it off to Volcanor again. Is so obviously you guys are going to be facing off against Powerhouse in the grand finals next Sunday, unless there's a reschedule. But how are you guys feeling going into that? Obviously, you've not won that matchup yet, but do you think fourth time is the charm in this case?
I think it can be, yeah. It'll be a full-on matchup with both teams with their full roster, because last time we didn't get to face X-Runner, they had Boreal instead. And I'm excited for the full matchup. I want us to scrim more, because we only had one scrim in the past week. We need to do a lot more if we want to beat Powerhouse, but I believe it's possible.
All right, that's all I've got.
right.
You have anything more, Volcanor?
I mean, Glacial, anything you want to say? Anyone you want to shout out? Anything like that?
Huge shout out to Sparrow. He stepped up big on the latter half of this match. Actually crazy. He made a lot of IGL calls and comp calls. Like a lot of the double steal that I'd give it to Sparrow for that kind of swap and that kind of plan. He's been insane, even though like starting out the season, I didn't think he was going to be amazing, but he's impressed me beyond anyone else in this league so far. Huge bright spot.
More fun to play, McCree or May?
I personally enjoy McCree, but I think I'm better at May, so I kind of find fun in being better at a character at the same time. So I don't mind McCree or May personally.
All
I
right.
think
All right. And that's gonna basically wrap it up for us. Good luck with your game against Powerhouse. You got close, 3-2 last time you guys faced them. So with both teams at full power, we'll see how this game goes. It's gonna be interesting, and I think you'll have a couple people cheering you guys on.
for sure.
All right. That is going to do it for us. The Axolotl Syndicate win 3-2 after a very difficult map against Goofy Goobers in a reverse sweep. And they face Powerhouse next week. That's going to be the game to watch. I mean, that the two best teams in the league, basically.
Yeah, literally highest SR, and
Right.
the only two remaining, so they have to be the best at this point. But anyways, that is pretty much all we've got for you tonight and this weekend. Hopefully it was all enjoyable. You did feel free to join the Discord, follow the Twitter, the Twitch, the YouTube, all that good stuff. We have the charity event still going on. I know you can see it in the graphic below. There are individual as well as community-wide milestones and rewards that you can hit. So, maybe spoil yourself a little bit and get to 1v1 a staff by donating $10 or something along those lines. But anyways, that's all we've got for you tonight. So until next Friday, don't die.